And it is 9:30, time to head over to Stanton and Gordy Cosfeld for today's AM Minnesota, talking about the Lions breakfast this weekend.
We are. Have you ever been there, John?
I have driven by it, but I've never been in there.
Well, you need to come. You're a father. I'm not a father, but I still enjoy the fathers' fly-in, drive-in, walk-in, polka-in, waltz-in breakfast that they have here, the Cannon Falls Lions Club. We are honored to have with us the president. I don't know how to address the president of the Lions Club. Amber Hunter is with us. Amber, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate it very much. Amber, and most people out there can probably relate to this, you're about ready to graduate your last child.
Yeah, he just graduated on June 3rd, and his party is tomorrow.
And so you're pretty excited about getting all that arrangements done. I appreciate your joining us to talk about this.
Absolutely.
How long have you been a Lion?
I have been a Lion since 2009, and I've been the president just for the past year.
How did you decide to become a Lion?
My father was the Lions Club president back in 2009, and one of his missions was to recruit women to the Cannon Falls Lions Club. There weren't any in our club for all that time, and my twin sister Rachel and I became the first women's Lions in the Cannon Falls Lions Club.
Wow, you're a bit of history.
Yeah.
That's cool, Amber.
Yeah.
So how many women do you have now in the club?
Oh boy, you got me on the spot. I think maybe a third of our club is women now.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
The Lions do so many great things. I'm a Lion in Faribault. I'm not as active as you, because obviously if you're the president, you have to be pretty active.
Yeah, we have a lot of meetings and special things to attend to as Lions Club president, and even just being part of the board of directors is really important. But we need service workers too, so you don't have to hold an office to be an active Lion.
Do you know how long the Cannon Falls Lions Club has been around?
43 years.
So it's quite a bit younger than I, unfortunately.
Yeah. Not that much.
43 years. Awesome.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea? Do you know the history, how it got started?
I don't.
That's okay.
We still have some of our charter members, though. So a couple of our current members are charter members that started with the club all those years ago.
Well, maybe we can have them on next year when we talk about this.
That would be wonderful.
I'm guessing. We're at the Stanton Airfield. That's what this is, right? It's not the airport, it's the airfield.
Stanton Airfield, yes.
At the Stanton Airfield. They're gassing up a plane. The current manager of the place cannot be with us today, but one of their volunteers is going to join us. Tom Cuffeld is going to be with us. Kind of like Cosfeld. I'm Cosfeld. He's Cuffeld. So, I don't know. It must be German, like yours truly. What's Hunter, anyway? Is that German?
Is Swiss German.
Swiss German?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We're going to visit more with Amber. I guarantee we'll talk more about the breakfast, obviously. When AM Minnesota continues, we'll talk about this great, rich history they have here at the Stanton Airfield. But, lack of a, let's see if I can look at my time, with lack of a accurate watch in front of me.
You've got a minute yet.
Well, we're probably about a minute away from having to take a break. Let's just give them a teaser. The event is this Sunday, of course, Father's Day.
This Sunday, it's the 28th annual Father's Day Fly-In Pancake Breakfast.
Oh, okay. This isn't the fly-in, the drive-in, the waltz-in, the polka-in.
Oh, yeah. You can do whatever you want to get here. That's fine.
But there are a lot of planes here. It's just an awesome day. I don't know too many people that don't enjoy looking at aircraft. So, John, we're going to take that break, and then when we come back, we'll talk more about the Cannon Falls Lions Club's Father's Day event at the Stanton Airfield. Bring Dad here. I guarantee he'll love it. Okay, John? You know why we're here, don't you, John?
That's for the Lions Father's Day breakfast coming up this Sunday.
Cannon Falls Lions.
Yeah.
We just heard Rod do the Cannon Falls news.
Yes, we did.
And I didn't think about this until I was driving over here. But I probably should have had Rod do the Cannon Falls news from here.
Well, there you go.
And then he could have done the show. Because he's probably more familiar with the Cannon Falls Lions than I am. But we've been here a few years. I guess I know a little bit about it. Amber Hunter is with us. She is a mom about ready to be an empty nester. And you were telling us that your son is going to go into the seminary.
Yeah, he is going going to Martin Luther College in New Ulm, and he's studying to be a pastor.
That is very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was telling our guest today, who is the president, by the way, of the Cannon Falls Lions Club. So I have to be on my very best behavior, because otherwise she could have me probably eaten by a lion or something, right?
Never.
If I did something bad. But I was just telling her that I wanted to be a pastor when I was in junior high, and then I found out how much school there was, and I said, nah, that's crossing that right off my list.
Mm-hmm. That's a lot of school.
Yeah. How many years did you say?
It'll be 4 years at MLC, and then he goes off to the seminary for 4 more years.
Yeah, 8 years. I mean, it's like being a doctor or something, to be a pastor, to deliver sermons, to learn a little bit more about the Bible.
Yeah.
So you're pretty excited about that, I can tell.
Yes, we're very proud of him.
Yeah, I'm sure you are. So how many kids?
I have 3.
And they're all off on their own? You got grandkids yet?
No.
Boy, she said that. Man, oh, man.
Our oldest is Andrew. He's 26, and Dalton is 20, and he goes to Bethany Lutheran in Mankato, and then Christian just is 18.
Have they joined the Lions?
No, not yet.
Because you can be a Lion at that age, can't you?
Yeah, yep. You can be a Lion. There are also Leo's clubs in some areas that are Lions clubs for younger kids, too. So that's another branch of the Lions clubs.
There you go.
The Leos.
So the Lions pancake breakfast out here, the pancakes are delicious.
Yes, they are.
You're not going to reveal the secret recipe,
Nope.
I'm sure.
Nope.
Because there is one.
Yeah.
The sausages are very good, too.
Yes, they are.
You're not going to tell us about those either.
Nope.
But I'm telling you, folks, the food is good.
Yes.
And I'm amazed at how quickly you can get the line through.
That's true. We, in past years, have served over 900 people.
Isn't that something?
In that short amount of time, and we just keep them coming. We've gotten smarter over the years, too. We've set up a second grill most years because the pancakes are all you can eat. So you come through the line and you get your pancake, sausage, and eggs, and then you can have as many pancakes as you want. So we've got a second grill set up so they can just make a beeline to get a refill on your pancakes.
Yeah, and for the most part, this is right off the griddle.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
It's not like they're sitting in some warmer for 4 hours.
Nope. Right from the griddle to your plate.
And that's the way we like it. So make sure you come on over. What are the costs on that?
It's $9 for adults, and then children 5 to 12 are $5, and children under 5 are free.
This is a Lions event, as we've already established. What do those dollars go toward?
Everything that we make goes right back into the Lions clubs that support service organizations. Lions Club International is made up of over 48,000 clubs worldwide, and we have main service projects that we commit to. Vision and hearing is what we've always been known for, but we also contribute to service projects for diabetes, the environment, hunger relief, and children's pediatric cancer.
Those are some awesome causes.
Yeah, I like that it's so broad just because all of those things that I just mentioned will touch somebody's heart in a way that they'll want to serve or support.
Sure. And you do local projects?
Yes. Yep, we do service projects in our community and they're filtered through those 5 service areas. So to support the environment, we have an area of highway to clean up, and we do that twice a year. Supporting vision and hearing, we work with a local doctor so we can get eyeglasses for younger kids that maybe aren't able to afford them. For hunger relief, we do a Feed My Starving Children event at the high school. And then we've done diabetes screenings in the past as well. And children's pediatric cancer is new on the list for the Global Action Team this year. So we're looking for ways to serve in that area as well.
Yeah, I can tell that's kind of near and dear to your heart.
It is.
Could tell by your reaction there with a smile.
It is.
Should we get a little history on the airport here?
I would love to hear some history on the airport.
Tom, how do I say that again?
Kuhfeld.
Kuhfeld. I'm Kosfeld, and you're Kuhfeld. So we're both Felds.
I can feel your pain.
Yeah, that's German.
Yeah, it is.
Well, Kosfeld is, so I'm assuming Kuhfeld is.
Right.
You ever been to Germany?
No, never have.
Wow, you fly and you've never been to Germany?
Yeah, that's right.
If I had my own plane, I'd be going to a lot of places.
You wouldn't be going to Germany in a single place unless you did a lot of planning and carried extra fuel.
Yeah, there you go.
So Stanton is a privately owned airport which is on the National Register of Historic Places because it was established by Carleton College to train pilots during World War II. And after the war, Carleton maintained it as Carleton Airfield. And in 1955, it was sold to Margaret and Malcolm McDonald, and they ran it until 1990. And Malcolm had passed on, and Margaret was getting old and didn't want to continue. So in order to save it from becoming a cornfield again, a group of pilots bought it and formed a group called Stanton Sport Aviation. And it was still known as Carleton Airfield until some cartographer changed it from Carleton to Stanton Airfield on a map, and so thereafter we've been known as Stanton Airfield.
So the FAA recognized Carleton even though it wasn't Carleton, you're saying?
Well, it's next to Stanton, but it was Carleton Airfield run by Carleton College, and it stayed that way until a cartographer's error. So, but it's close to Stanton, so everybody knows where we are.
Yeah.
As long as you know where Stanton is.
How long have you been coming out here yourself?
Well, I started coming in the early 90s and taking glider lessons, and I got into gliding, and so hanging around, you kind of get infected with the nostalgia here of grass runways and airplanes, and I'd been flying airplanes for a long time before that, so it was just natural for me to start hanging out, and I became a shareholder and a member of the board and president of the board, and now I'm just a member of the board. But it keeps us out of trouble. And a lot of volunteer effort goes into this airport, and we appreciate all that do.
Do you get many visitors here? I mean, many people fly in?
Oh, yes. At the flying breakfast, we've had up to 90, 100 planes.
Yeah.
Depends on the weather. Wednesday, we had an ACE camp, Aviation Career Education, and we have one day out of a whole week that these kids get through the FAA and MnDOT Aeronautics. They're high school kids learning about the various aspects of aviation, and for Wednesday they get a glider ride, they get a helicopter ride, they fly a glider simulator, and we gave 29 kids glider rides as well as commercial rides through the airport of totaling 41 rides, and so there was a lot of activity. There was a nice day, and there was a lot of private airplanes that flew in, and we gave a history tour to a group of people, and we had senior citizens come by for a tour, so it was very active on Wednesday.
Were you always in awe of flying when you were a kid? I mean, were you just...
I guess so, yeah. I was more in awe of railroad trains when you'd see those big trains rumble by on the tracks with the steam engines back then.
You thought you might be a railroad guy?
Well, my great-granddad was a railroad engineer, and my granddad drove the train, and so it was in the family, but my dad was a civil engineer and worked for the highway, and I'm also a civil engineer and worked for the city of St. Paul.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So when did you have your first plane? Were you in the Air Force?
No. I started flying in 1964, and it was much cheaper then. And so I've been flying for a few years.
You still fly?
Still fly.
Still flying gliders?
No, I gave that up last year. I sold my glider. I was not flying enough to remain competent and safe in it, so I said better to give it up before it's a problem.
Oh, okay. So you didn't give any of these glider rides?
No, I didn't give them. I was directing traffic.
Okay. Cool. Sounds like fun.
It is.
Amber, have you ever had a glider ride? No. No glider ride for Amber.
Well, you got to come out. We're giving one this afternoon. Hang around.
I can imagine it being really cool, though. I mean, you really feel like you're a bird, right?
Yes, it is, and especially when you're flying with the birds. To get in the same thermal with a hawk or an eagle, that's special. So it's a unique experience, and it's like sailing, but in 3 dimensions instead of 2.
The largest plane you've ever had out here, do you know what it was?
Hank, what is that? A
B-25. It landed here.
B-25. So 4-engine bomber.
Well, that was B-17 was parked.
Oh, B-17 was parked out here.
They
Oh,
gave it to
geez.
the airport after the war.
Oh, okay.
So we've had big planes in here.
This gentleman's making something. What's he making? Is he making like a noose for me or something?
He's trying to distract me here, but
I guess something for Charlie.
yeah. So he's doing some fabric work on an airplane. He's cutting out his pattern.
Oh, okay.
He's going to make somebody a...
He had me very scared there when he brought out that aircraft fabric cement. Thought they were going to put me in cement shoes and put me at the bottom of the Cannon River or something. Yeah, a lot of people out there would be very appreciative of that. But,
Right.
But anyway, Tom Kuhfeld is with us. He is with the Stanton Airfield. That's what they officially call this, right? The airfield?
Right.
Out here in Stanton, and literally it's growing up in a cornfield.
It's got corn around it this year. Next 2 years will be corn, and after that it's going to be alfalfa, I understand.
And in fact, I see a guy in his tractor out there right now.
Well, he's mowing the runways, and it's for the fly-in visitors for the pancake breakfast. We got to have it looking nice.
And it does. Looks very nice. So how many planes do you think you could get on this? You said you had 100, 200.
Well, we had up to 100. I mean, it really depends on the weather. If it's a really nice day, it's going to be more. If it's a crappy day, it'll be less. And there have been some days that it's been so crappy we haven't had any. So,
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, I don't remember that.
A few years ago, we had to cancel.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. You had to cancel one year, and we had it later in the year. I do remember that now. So do you get to have pancakes, the Lions pancakes that day?
Just like everybody else.
And have you attended the church service in the hangar that they have? That's
Yep.
awesome.
Yeah.
I love that church service. I don't know, there's something about hearing a plane engine roaring in the background over the sermon that I know it does something to me. So is it kind of a spiritual experience flying?
It can be, yes. And each to his own, said the lady as she kissed the cow. That's what my mother would say.
That's a classic. Did you grow up in this area, Tom?
I was born in St. Paul, but I basically grew up in Morris,
Okay.
and then I moved back to St. Paul. So
Was it a farm or something in Morris? Or?
no, I was a town kid, but I had a lot of friends on farms, and I stayed on the farm as much as in the city. So I'm acquainted with a lot of farming equipment and practice.
Now, Amber was telling me before you hit the airwaves, her first flight was as a 9-year-old with her twin sister to Minnesota from Arizona. It was just her and her twin sister on the plane. So can you imagine a 9-year-old first airplane flight? I mean, that's got to be a little scary, don't you think?
I would think so. Were you scared?
No. She handled it like a trooper.
Too dumb to be scared.
Do you remember your first flight?
I do. I remember my first solo better than my first flight, because without the extra weight of the instructor in back, the plane flies much better.
Oh, I'm sure it does.
Plus, you're flying it where you think it should go, not where the instructor thinks it should go.
So tell me about that the inaugural flight. Were you nervous?
Absolutely. You have butterflies. I hope I make a good landing. I hope I don't crash. I hope that it all went well.
And after a while, it's just old hat. You don't even think of those things, I'm guessing.
Well, you're always thinking as you're flying. In fact, it's hard to think of other things when you're flying, so maybe that's good.
Yeah, I suppose. Now, I've been told, in fact, I've met a lot of them out here, airline pilots that have their own planes. Maybe they live in Webster or, someplace nearby. Because Webster has its own little airstrip.
That's right. In fact, the fellow on the end of the table here just a moment ago lives at Webster.
Oh, that's cool.
And he's flown for the airlines. He's flown B-52s for the Air Force.
Wow,
he's
cool.
flown about everything you can imagine.
Yeah. Well, some of the professional airline pilots I've talked to out here during the Stanton days tell me that flying those, it's basically a computer that runs those, the big jets that you fly,
I
right?
think so, right.
And this is really flying when you get into
This
a small
is flying.
plane.
Yes, it is.
And that's why they enjoy doing it.
Right. In fact, that's why a lot of the professional pilots that during their day job have to fly by computer can really fly by the method that they first learned by.
And it's good to have those kind of people in the cockpit because the
Right.
computer can go out.
You remember the miracle on the Potomac? Sully was a glider pilot, and he flew a lot, and maybe that paid off.
Oh, I think it did.
Yeah.
Most definitely. Well, Tom, I sure appreciate your visiting with us. I'll let you get back to work.
Thank you very much.
Nice to know a little bit about the history, Tom.
And see you all on Father's Day.
Yep, in a couple of days. Tom Kuhfeld, we're going to wrap up the show. Amber's going to give us more information. Again, run down the information, if you would, please, Amber, about the costs for people and where all this goes.
Absolutely. So the Father's Day fly-in pancake breakfast. It is this coming Sunday from 7 a.m. and then we'll serve pancakes right up until noon. The cost is $9 for adults and $5 for children 5 to 12. Kids under 5 eat free, and the pancakes are all you can eat. So you got to make sure that you come through the line an extra time so you can get a refill on your pancakes.
Most definitely. Now, you are going to have the church service again, right?
Well, the airfield does the church service, is my understanding.
Oh, okay.
Yep,
It's not
so-
the Lions thing.
No,
you're saying.
we're busy cooking. We're very busy cooking. So we will also have our Lions trailer out, so you can't miss us if you come out to Stanton. You'll know exactly where we are. So just look for the big airplane hangar and the bright yellow Lions Club trailer.
Yep, we got a sign out already.
Yeah.
Publicizing the fly-in event
Yep.
here at the Stanton Airfield. You can't miss it on your way from Faribault to Cannon Falls. You have to drive by it. It's just on the other side of Syngenta here in Stanton, who I see has a big sign saying they're hiring
Oh,
at Syngenta. So a couple minutes left in the show. You remember the first pancake event you attended for the Cannon Falls Lions?
you know, you asked me earlier what made me decide to be a Lion.
And that was it, huh?
Well, my dad has been a Lion for many, many more years than I have. And if I wanted to see him on Father's Day, I had to come down to the fly-in for the pancake breakfast because I knew that's where he would be. So I would be down here anyway, and I'm like, I want to see my dad at all of these events, so I might as well work side by side with him. So it's something really special that I'm able to share with my dad. Sometimes the last few years, we've been together in the trailer cooking up the eggs. So I love spending the day with him and having my husband and my children come down, and we can serve them as well. So
Awesome.
we get to see the entire family that day.
That's
So,
fantastic. I'm sure it's true for a lot of families.
Yeah, it is. It's a big family affair. It's great to see so many families coming out here and spending Father's Day together, eating the breakfast and then going out to look at the planes on the runway.
It's
So
become
it's a fun event.
Father's Day tradition for a lot of families. And, of course, I'm not a dad, and my dad is no longer with us. But it's become a tradition for myself, too. I just love, I could spend all day looking at the plane.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a beautiful venue. We're really blessed that we're able to be here and that we've consistently been here for the last, this is our 28th year. So we've had a lot of fun out here. And
in the last few years, what's become my favorite is the church service.
Yeah, yep. That's really nice out there, too.
They really do a nice job. And as I was saying to Tom, I don't know, there's something about hearing a plane landing in the background during the church service that just, I don't know, it sends a tingle down my spine.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
It is cool.
Kinda
Thanks.
cool.
Appreciate it. It was nice meeting you, Amber.
Nice meeting you, too. Thank you for having me.
Good luck with your graduation tomorrow. Not that
Yes.
you need it. I mean, this is old hat for you. It's your third one.
Yeah, right. Well, there's still lots to do.
Yeah. All right, well, I'll let her get to that. And thanks for joining us today on our AM Minnesota show. I honestly don't remember what I've got coming up on Monday, but I do know we got a week booked next week, John. I just want to invite everybody to come out to Stanton Airfield and enjoy this event on Sunday. If you've never been here, you will probably be hooked, and you'll come every year like yours truly does.
And the good news is the Highway 19 bridge will be open this afternoon, so everybody will be able to get there easier.